What is up, y'all? Jeff here, no cutscenes, back with another Let's Build at the Castle. Now this part 4, we are building our little, I don't know even what you call it, it's just a little shopping area. Got weapons, you got a clinic, and of course you have a general trader. And yeah, basically I just want to show you how I built this. I already decorated it, of course, here, and I do apologize up front for not having a new video out in, I don't know, what, 2 or 3 days. I have been playing the Overwatch beta, well, until yesterday, and it just stopped. And yeah, I've been loving it, so I've been putting a lot of time into that. I do apologize again, but I will be back with the Fallout 4 videos. I'll be back with also my Survivor Let's Build, and basically just kind of finishing off the castle, and yeah, some other ideas for Wasteland Workshop, okay? But yeah, as you can see here, again, got 3 stores, built up on a little raised platform, mostly out of concrete, with of course some of the wood just thrown in there to make sure it doesn't look too static or too stale. And even got our people kind of floating through the floor here. They're intersecting it because I used the rug glitch to place these stores for the most part, and they unfortunately dropped down, but it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, basically again, just a nice little showcase here of what it can look like, what you can do with it. And I made that it of course reaches to the second level of the castle itself, the existing part, where it just has a nice little stairway walk up, and of course we'll take that away eventually once we fast travel enough where it doesn't pull away the ice machine. The ice machine of course acts as support, so we don't want it dropping down or else it'll look like it's just floating, and that's ridiculous. But yeah, and it ended up working out pretty nicely up here. Had really no collision problems as far as the shack floors themselves. So yeah, I was really happy about that, and I'm happy with the way it came out. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. It fits the vibe for the castle I'm going, where it's mostly, you know, concrete, very drab and gray, not a lot of colors, just kind of like how I feel the Minutemen would be, boring overall. Not to say that they're bad or anything, they might just, you know, they're the nerds of the Commonwealth. Not saying that in a bad way, that was a terrible joke. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's get building. It's pretty easy. Maybe took me, you know, 50 minutes total with everything. But first of all, what I wanted to kind of test was I wanted to see if we could do the multi-select glitch. Of course, just with the concrete, and the concrete worked out pretty well, so we can make it basically one shack floor, the normal 2x2 out, kind of to stick away from the wall, with a little bit of intersection as far as like the end of it. But of course I wanted to be able to put some stairs up there closest to the wall, not directly in the stairs, but you know, just so that it looks good. And I am going to speed it up if there are going to be, no, not if, there are going to be a few parts where I do slow it down a bit. So yeah, just basically try to follow along as best you can, and if it is too fast, definitely tell me, and for the next part I will go slower. But yeah, basically what I wanted to do here was have this circular area, like this dude's own private little shack, and I knew that since it was this 2x2 size, since it snapped off the door, all you need to do is take one of the smaller shack floors, doesn't matter what concrete, wood one, place it against the door, place your curved piece, the curved metal piece, just like that, place the other one directly opposite, and you're pretty much good. Yeah, after that you're golden. And then you can place, as always, that circular doorway, the metal one in front. So yeah, now this is here, I don't know, it's kind of a piece where I decide like what I wanted to actually do with it. If I wanted to make it like 2 pieces out as far as the shack floors, so like 4x4, or like even, you know, a 4x8 or a 4x10, and I just ended up going with 1, but of course I needed a little bit of variation in the flooring itself, and I feel like it always helps having like a staircase run up kind of on this side, and I was just lucky that this actually jumped up, or else I wouldn't be able to place a staircase down there. But yeah, it actually did jump up here on the side where it eventually kind of went up, see, just like that. And yeah, I was able to place some stairs there. They were the wood ones, the concrete ones just aren't. Even when it's like, you know, okay, like it shows green if you're just using the standard, or blue here, it doesn't go, it's weird. But yeah, so that's why I like using stairs, especially when you're doing multi-select, because you can make them go up and down, and you just, it's easier to build in general. So yeah, alright, but now we're basically going to flesh out the rest of our build here. Not flesh out, that's fucking stupid. But we're going to flesh out, yeah, the rest of our build, and here this part, don't even worry about it. We're going to be redoing it anyway because we know that we're going to have to move this with the actual pieces not attached yet. We're just kind of getting this down to see what, you know, the actual building itself is going to look like. So yeah, we're going to come back to that. Don't worry, I'll show you how to do it. But just for right now, ignore it because I kind of worked backwards on that one. And I wanted this to be just like another opening, kind of like I had with the circular metal door, but I didn't want it just to be there by itself. I wanted it to have a little bit of flair to it. So I ended up actually using the multi-select to kind of raise it up, and then I placed these circular concrete floors, like the ones here, so that I could actually do something as far as doing the drop-down technique. Having one of the curved walls sort of is just like a little barrier for the lookout, just so that it's, you know, high enough or not high enough. And of course with this, as long as you remove the wall, place the actual curved floor piece back, and then because you already have the one drop down below, all you need to do is just line it up at the bottom and snap it into place. Yeah, it takes a little while, of course, because I wasn't at the right angle, but you know, here I feel like as long as I don't know, have enough of a area to kind of look over when I'm walking down, that should be fine. Like, and of course I can just raise and lower it again if I needed to make that any lower, any higher, or whatever. So yeah, I think I ended up doing that here, just again doing the drop down technique where you just stand on it, drop down to the ground where it is. Of course, if you need to put like another shack floor or a wooden piece, just something like that, something to land on, go ahead. It definitely helps, but for, again, some places like this, it ended up working out just fine because the ground is flat enough. Yeah, it's really just kind of up to you and, you know, wherever you stand. Alright, so now, since I raised everything up with the multi-select on the staircase, I'm actually able to, of course, put the curved wall a little bit lower. And yeah, I found that that was actually a really good angle for it, or a really good height for it, excuse me. And of course with like curve shit, it's awesome because it will go through most of anything. It'll go through other concrete walls, it'll go through wooden walls, the metal ones, it'll go through a lot. And yeah, so now that we have that built, because that was definitely the most complex part of that, we'll just go ahead and speed it up because now it's just, you know, working with concrete, doing some easy stuff. And I wanted to have like, initially I wanted to have like a little walkthrough area underneath, but I just eventually ended up, yeah, putting it like that so that nobody could get under there. I wanted to make it like storage, but this place ended up having so much storage already that I didn't even need it. Yeah, either way, it's worked out. Okay, so now here, because even though it's like going to be supported a little bit as far as the concrete foundations, we need a little bit here for the circular metal walls and that circular doorway. Now, I knew that since, of course, it's going to be one of the wall lengths long, just place from there, make sure that it's lined up as far as your concrete walls. I use the half ones there. Don't need the full ones just because, you know, it's metal. It's not like it's going to be weighing down on it thousands of pounds, maybe a few hundred. That's even if you're going super realistic. It doesn't even really matter. It still looks good. And of course, wanted to just fit out, you know, everything that we could. Really, this part I knew. Well, I didn't even know actually. No, I knew that I wanted to place like another store there, and I felt like I could actually do it without using this at first. But then I was just like, no, there'll have to be some sort of room there, you know. And basically, I didn't know that I wasn't even going to end up using that side, like the one with the staircase. I wanted to use that side with the staircase, kind of how it was, make like a little, I don't know, a little landing area, just of course like with one of the wood doorways. I don't even know what they're called. You'll have to see it in a later section. It's the shack wall and roof, the one that has the window built into it already. Like, I don't even know what they're called. They're just called, you know, walls. But yeah, so here I ended up just making just kind of like this little outcrop, I guess, that is the same level as the curved wall piece that I had from the drop down before there. Yeah, and again, most of my stuff I'm just doing trial and error, seeing what works. A lot of it ended up not working, a lot of it did. Mostly just concrete works really well with what, I mean, any material that you're going to use. It works even really well with itself because it will intersect a lot. There's a bear. But yeah, like I said, since we're going to be moving this thing around a little bit, to go ahead and not worry about that roof piece. But now since I've kind of like, I've got the front all fleshed out, I'm happy with it, we can just go ahead and we can do the second level. And the second level, it's not going to be a full-on level with the roof and everything, because I knew that I could get it kind of like to the right level. It was the top of the castle there with the multi-select glitch from the staircase that I had over there. So yeah, and I wanted to make it kind of a little bit open as far as like the back, just because I wanted to use the natural concrete blocks that were already in the castle right there. So yeah, I just, I thought that was the best thing to do with it. All right, so what do I do here? Sorry, yeah, no, I remember now. I ended up trying to make like this area, that little thing, the little entrance, and I ended up scrapping this. So yeah, I don't know why I even have this in here, but I think I just have it because, I wanted to show you like a full-on let's build it. It would have been weird if I just kind of cut it here and didn't show it. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't be not so weird, but All right, so yeah, basically what I wanted to do was just have like, I think a little staircase to go up to the second floor, but that one just would look weird because I would have had to put like another shack floor or one of those outcrop, wall and roof pieces, the metal or wood ones up there to walk, and it just wouldn't have looked good, I don't think. So what I ended up doing, of course, was the normal staircase that I normally use, like the one that I have here. I just used that one, the ladder stairs. They should just call them ladder stairs too. They should really rename a lot of things, but that for a different day. And I just ended up placing that as up top. You'll see here eventually what they look like. And yeah. So now I kind of just wanted to test the positioning, and I knew that since if it wasn't right, like I could just move it. But yeah, now I kind of like, again, decide that I want to place the stairs over here on this side. I don't know why they didn't go there at first. I did just, you had to find the right angle. And I wanted to make sure that I could actually have some area to walk over and get to the next section. So yeah, I just made this little area, little walkway, and I knew that because of the way the curved walls work, where they placed their the floor piece, that it would actually be down a level, so that I could actually get it to seem like there wasn't just you'll see. I don't even know how to explain it really. It's just so that there's two sections of the floor piecing, and I knew that again because it would drop down, it would have to be okay. And I messed up here a little bit. I forgot that, of course, it's going to be off by one, but you just follow me here. You might have to take away some things, but the good part is you're not taking away like the base structure, so there'll always be an area for you to put it back up as far as the shack upper floor. But yeah, and of course we had to take these away, but like I said, there's that shack upper floor that's already there, or but that's already there, so you're pretty much straight. Now, as you can see here, it looks like it's already like flush, but that's just because we didn't have this section over here, so we have to take this part away. We know that it's not going to be the actual piece because the roof underneath it doesn't meet up with the flooring until you get it to the right angle. Now, this, we're fine. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to make it so that it looked completely, flush against everything. There wasn't just like these two smaller shack floor pieces that were hanging on by nothing there. I wanted them to be okay. Yeah. And here, you'll just see me mess around, just trying to find the right angle that I could actually clip everything into the wall. At first, like I just did it like that because, yeah, I didn't even know I wasn't going to use this little thing as well. But, and yeah, rule of thumb, just quick save. Before you actually place anything with the multi-select, just in case you pick up something else that is, of vital importance to the rest of your build, and you fuck up and you just need to go back. Oh my gosh, yeah, I remember these two being really annoying because I've caught a bunch of Yaguais and used them as defense, and there's just a lot of people in the castle already. It's at 20. So yeah, now here I kind of just, that's why I wanted to, quick save it just in case like I couldn't pull it back from this, but luckily there was actually a way for me to pull it out with nothing else becoming attached, so I was happy with that. But yeah, now wanted to do like just kind of the best job I could have as far as getting it level to the second one, and I knew that with the staircase, even with like the shack floor, it was going to be at like the right height. I just needed to line up this part, and for the most part, you know, it's just really just eyeballing it. Like, to me, I wanted it to be perfect, or as perfect as it could be. I knew that there was like a little bit of gappage as far as it being lined up to the wall there. And then here, this is just me again wanting it to be as perfect as I could. I ended up just knowing that it would be okay as far as placing shack floors here, like the smaller ones, just because I tested it earlier anyway. And I knew that you could, of course, place one of the stairwells, the smaller stairs, directly off it, as long as there was enough of a overhang. So all I had to do was just put one more of the shack floors there, which I fumbled around here for, and then I knew that, like, since I had this little outcrop here, it would be supported and it would look okay. It wouldn't look, you know, totally ridiculous, like it just was hanging off the edge or it didn't have realistic support. So now, if it comes to the part like this where you're trying to figure out if you should put another one there, just go ahead and use the one shack floor. You don't need two. It would just look like it's overhanging way too much, and really you need a place for it to land that it's not just immediately going into the wall, of course, and you'll have to put another little, what is it, 6x1 area here, because again it's just 6 long. That's pretty much it. And obviously it's not going to be able to snap to like the other staircase, so you're going to need to kind of eyeball it. And I knew that it was going to be alright as far as the upper staircase kind of clipping into it, because these staircases will clip through a good amount of shit without you having to even, you know, do anything. But I just wanted to get it so that it's lined up perfectly, or as perfect as it can be. And you know, it's off by like 5 degrees. That's fine. I think mine was like a tiny bit off as far as like where it was lined up top, but that didn't bother me at all, because I knew that it's still going to be functional. It's still going to work. It's just going to be like off a little bit. And again, this is just me trying and going back and forth, just doing trial and error. Like that's what you have to do for a lot of it. And a lot of people have asked me, like, just how do you come up with it? It's just this. It's just going back and unfortunately having no life, so I'm able to spend countless hours just retweaking, finding new things. I mean, like this even here, like, you know, it's just time consuming. It's nothing difficult. You just have to kind of keep at it until you find the right one. But yeah, so enough of me ranting. We'll just basically finish this up here. As you can see, it intersects pretty well. Like the top part here is off just a tiny bit. That's just because I was too stupid to kind of figure out that it wasn't going to be lined up all the way as far as the shack pieces up here, like the floor pieces. So yeah, but you'll see in like the full build, my full actual tour of the castle settlement, that I've actually ended up not fixing it but just addressing it, and it comes out okay. So now, yeah, of course we're going to need some actual support underneath, or it's just going to look stupid. You know, it's just floating. You don't want it to be floating, no. And I know that, of course, I said of course to listen to this one. It's all good. But I know that we can use one of the super mutant totems, one of the ones we got in patch 1.4, and it's basically like 1.5 floors, and that's kind of where that little staircase is anyway. So I think we'll be fine just being able to use that. Worst case scenario, we'll have to try it with some of the container objects. You know, get the vending machine. I knew that that one was actually going to probably be right around where the height of the staircase is, but either way, we'll just finish this off here. Eyeball it, and yeah. Alright, now we have a top area. We can use it as a lounge area, just a transition area to go up top here, or maybe some storage, you know, some outdoor storage. But yeah, well, I'll decorate that later and I'll show you a full video of it. And yeah, so this part I ended up actually taking out the door opening here, just because it was so close to the natural opening to get inside the castle that it just didn't make sense. And I knew that I could use the other side staircase and just use that as a way. So this is me testing to see the height of it. I know that if it drops down a little bit too, it's probably going to be fine. as far as just clearing it. And then yeah, this part here is me taking out this wall, and it just makes sense. Yeah, there's not enough room for me or even my settlers to walk around all the way, and yeah, I just didn't think it was okay. So yeah, now I'm testing it again just to figure out which one it is, and you know, it's pure trial and error, like I keep saying. If it goes through a little bit, like that's fine, just as long as it's small enough, like the diameter of the totem, that it's not going to take up too much space next to the staircase. Because if it does, it's not worth it. You'll just, you know, use a Raider bolt or something like that. But I like using these. They seem more just supportive in nature, just because they're thicker. And here's just me fine tweaking it. All right, I like that. I could have stopped there, but I won't, just because I like actually adding some of the style to it, because it gives it like another, you know, a full junkier feeling. And again, quick save, because if you take that away and can't put it back, it's kind of stupid that you took it away. You could always just make it like window, but I just wanted to make it a little bit more closed in. You know, there's already a massive opening in it, and I could have used these. I think I actually tried. I don't know if it was because they didn't drop down when I used the rug glitch, but I actually ended up not using these. So it's not a spoiler that I tell you that. It's not like a surprise or anything. It's, you know, I'm not doing that. It's just I don't end up using these. I end up using the ice machine. And see, I would have liked that if they actually dropped down, but it just goes like completely through, as opposed to just dropping down like, you know, a little tiny bit. And I see that with this, it's pretty much going to be right to like the same level as that shack floor. So as long as I just put it on one here, leave it alone, do some fast travel out of there, fast travel into there, it should be okay. I should be able to take away the mats, and it shouldn't drop at all. Because yeah, that's one thing you can do, and I'm sure y'all have heard me say that in my previous videos, is that if you fast travel away from where you are and fast travel back, excuse me, a few times, you can just take away your mats and the object will drop down. It's really nice, actually. Yeah. Okay, so last but not least, since we got everything built as far as the foundation, first floor, little staircase to get up on top of the castle itself, we'll go ahead and build our stores. Yeah. Really? All I need to do is 3 times the rug glitch. Now, this one I've done a guide for as well. Literally this exact thing. Now, it takes a little longer in the guide, but basically what you're going to see me do here is just place that one for the weapons eventually on there. But I wanted to do this one here because I'm just lazy, and I know that that's the shortest distance between me and the workbench or any other thing that I can deposit all my junk into. So I didn't want to do it there, just in case I had to, you know, become over encumbered and move. It would just take too long. And yeah, I want to do the rug glitch for all these, and so will you, because it just looks better. You're gonna have a little bit of whatever sign for your stores hanging out like over the side there. It just, I think it goes better. You can actually still, of course, have your workers walk up to it. It's not gonna impede that. It's just gonna make everything look better. Now, it will drop a little bit, or it will jump up depending on where you have it. But as long as, of course, you quick save before, you're gonna be fine. You can always just take that away, but once you drop it, that's it. So for me here, that's perfect. Check the other ones, make sure they don't drop it or anything, and then just go ahead and use these for your weapons and whichever other store you want. I ended up with a clinic. You know, mostly now I'm just using these things to sell. I don't even use them to, like, of course it's not this is my survival playthrough, and I promise I will be doing more on that soon as well. Just now, Overwatch is done. I'm going through withdrawal, and I'm super depressed about it not being here, because that was an amazing game. But I got Fallout. I'm good. Okay, so now, again, since I already did a full guide video on how to make this exact store, please go ahead and watch that one, or just, you know, watch really quickly there. That what I did was I kind of made the rug glitch jump up a little bit there on the right side, if it doesn't do that, your store is just going to go straight through the floor, and it's going to look really stupid. As just with that curved doorway. I don't know why it does that. I don't know if it's just that piece, but yeah, for some reason it does that on the curved doorway. Now this part here, I knew since it was going to be a curve anyway, it's not going to be able to stick out, or else the sides of the store itself will stick out, and that'll just look really bad. I mean, even though again we're intersecting everything with everything, it will still look pretty bad. Now I'm gonna go ahead just assign some people just to test it out, and it takes a few tries for them to actually get up there, but don't worry, trust me, in the end it works. And now we have a little store, just a nice storefront in our castle, and that's the 4th part of my Let's Build. So thanks for watching, y'all. I hope that you learned something or are inspired to make something similar on your own. Please let me know what you'd like me to do for the next part. The next part I want to do for the castle is, something that's very practical and functional that people could actually use for it. So yeah, definitely let me know. Thanks for watching. Peace out. See ya.